But of course, some people are just not too concerned with the weather at all. It's just one of those days to chill. And it's a lovely day today. Makes a change. The sun is out. Apologies if there's any noise on the microphone. I didn't bring the windsock with me, and I'm filming with the sun behind me. And that's because I'm taking a little walk and I've come across this. Portugal has a huge maritime history, and we're on the docks here, and this is the old one of the old buildings that still exist. Most of the old docks are long since gone, and behind where they were, you've got all the modern stuff being built. A lot of the old buildings in Portugal were built out of this stuff. It's like a mud stucco, and then they covered it with some kind of concrete affair. And of course, once the concrete is gone and it's bridged, it all falls apart. Fortunately, this old fort or customs house or whatever it was built out of stone, and will last a little bit longer. You can see there the remains of really old bricks. They were basically bricks made out of mud, and you can only see the sides of them there. Well, they've sort of rotted away, been washed away. Unfortunately, even on this old wall, the graffiti artists have had a go. Portugal has a bad problem with graffiti on a lot of their old monuments, which is a shame. I've decided to stay in Portugal in the marina for at least a week, so I'm adding another 4 or 5 days on. There's another lot of wind coming through on the weekend, and I've just had enough. Getting cabin fever, being on the boat all the time in the morning. So I just got to get off, stretch my legs. So we're in Portugal, so the object of the day is to do a bit of exploring, film a little bit, show you a bit of wonderful stuff like that over there. In the good old days, Portugal was known for its canneries. Various fish, including sardines, were brought here to this particular building, which is now a museum here in Portugal. And there was a huge cannery which employed a lot of the local population. And they had chimneys, and on those chimneys, I think storks or cranes, I'm not actually sure what they are. They're massive birds. And they used to nest, and preservation orders were passed when the factories were closed down, or anywhere where there was a chimney with these birds nesting on, that they had to rebuild the chimneys to allow the birds to nest again. So as a result, there's these beautiful birds and beautiful chimneys all over the city. Here's the old factory with the chimney, and on top, even the crane. There's a crane on the crane. I think those two are having a bit of a shag or something. Disgusting behaviour. This is a family show, you know. An old picture of what it must have been like to be in this building 100 years ago. She's pretty nice. Ah, found some culture at last. An old church behind some palm trees, next to a building that looks suspiciously like it might be 1920s or something like that. Rather cool. And then there is this. But hey, we're going to go down there where there's an English pub. Proper culture. So I've just come out of the English pub, and they're serving food in there. It's amazing what you'll miss as a Brit living abroad. They got sausage and chips and roast beef and unfortunately I'd just eaten 20 minutes before up the road. I'm not saying all Portuguese food's bad, because it's not. I've had some great food here, but I just had the worst prawn salad I've ever had in the world. And then walk into a place where they're serving roast beef and Yorkshire pudding. But this is beautiful. The temperature here is now between 20 degrees, it says in one little place on the corner here. On that pharmacy sign over there, it says 26 degrees, which is hot. This town is just full of spectacular ruins. These buildings must have been fabulous in their day. You can just imagine here at number 35 or whatever street I'm on, living in this building back in the 1930s. Must have been such fun. Just look at it. It's beautiful. Not anymore, though. It seems there are a few efforts to restore some of these beautiful buildings back to their former grandeur. But hey, it's a modern world. Nowadays we've got things like this for architecture. I don't know what it is, but it's here. It's a window. I don't know. It's a fish tank. Something. This place is just full of surprises. Now here's something to do with those plastic 5-litre water bottles when you finish with them. Instead of chucking them in a bin, why don't you make an igloo? You can actually live inside. This is amazing. Igloo house made out of water bottles. Brilliant. Tell you what, you'd be up all night peeing if you used all these to make your house. And there's the famous Portuguese steel tree. Plastic water bottle houses and steel trees. This place is a veritable weirdness. I don't know what that is, but it certainly could be the secret headquarters of the Daleks. If you're a Doctor Who fan, let me know. Is this where they live? Gotta say, I've just had an emotional moment because my father and my mother both passed away not long ago, and they'd love to have seen this.